Good morning, bunnies. Gonna do something a little bit different today. Not gameplay wise, I'm still doing the exact same thing I always do. Running a Faction Warfare mission for Caldari, using all my rules and the fun suits I use, and, control schemes and all that. What I want to do is talk to you a little bit about the lore of New Eden. Today specifically, I want to talk about fluid routers. Now, fluid routers are, well, a faster than light communication system. What that means is you can communicate across any distance of space instantly. This does have applications in the real world. It has been tested, but not confirmed. And it is widely seen by the scientific community in the real world as something that doesn't work. Mostly because they don't play Eve. No. It's basically something that they can't really test all that well due to different real world effects. But anyway, in New Eden, the way it works is they take a batch of helium-4, which is a super heavy element and very stable, and they quantumly entangle it, meaning that they make it so that doing something to one molecule affects all of the other associated molecules, whether that be affecting the spin or the ground state. You then use this to influence or to send data, whether it's encoding something so that every time the ground state changes or the spin changes is a 0 or a 1, and using that to send binary data across a vast distance with no delay. Now, the way this actually works is, Sorry, trying to move, think, and shoot all at the same time, it doesn't exactly work too well. Ha ha ha.
Take his car.
But yeah, so anyway, where was I? Fluid routers, that's where I was. Okay, so fluid routers. The basic understanding is, like I said, helium-4. They use it to cross distances. Now, the main issue with a fluid router is you can only talk to the associated route, right? So I can't talk to, this computer over here. I can only talk to my associated fluid router. So what happens in New Eden is, Concord runs a massive series of router hubs across New Eden. And in these hubs, is all the fluid routers. It contains all the fluid routers so that you have all of the communication, the standard communication hubs within, a 10 millisecond ping of each other. So that if I want to talk to, somebody else, I send a message through my fluid router. It hits, my associated box at the hub. The hub sends it to the associated router, which then relays it to the final destination. So while I can't talk directly with somebody, within one step or two steps, I can talk to pretty much anybody in New Eden. It's elegant, really. Um, so, and they, of course, as with the real world, struggled lore-wise with how to communicate the data. Because, quantumly, it's rather difficult. You can't just, watch a ground state all the time without affecting the whatever you're looking at, because of the way quantum observer effects and stuff like that. Makes it really difficult to do all the things, right? We're gonna hack this real quick. What they figured out is, they always generate noise. Or there's a specific amount of noise that is generated, and if you can mess with the noise itself rather than, the way the helium-4 is actually acting, you can send more data than just affecting the helium-4, and you can do it with greater accuracy. So, and that's what they did. A young Galente scientist is actually the one who studied that and picked it up, or figured it out in the lore. But that basically means that no matter where somebody is in the universe, they can always talk with other people. Okay, so that brings us to to bunnies. Okay, well, how can we talk to people anywhere in New Eden if we don't have one of these boxes? Oh, because historically those boxes are pretty big. I mean, you can't fit one just on a drop suit. And what they figured out was, you don't put it, it was part of the creation of the bunnies, in fact. The fluid router is actually built into the brain of the mercenary. And that's how the brain state is transferred when you die. Your brain itself is the fluid router, so when you're killed, it can automatically, it's always updating your brain state. So it's not a massive download that you have to do as with an Eve pilot. It's just it's actually a rather small update of the final brain state for the bunny. And it can be done much quicker, so you don't have to do all the fun things with the bunny's brain, or that you do with the pod pilots, to get a final brain state. Yeah, I know a lot of you guys probably don't know what a brain state is, but we'll get into that in a minute. Okay. Basically, the way cloning works in New Eden, and like I said, this ties back into the fluid routers, is you take a image of the brain and use that to replicate the cloned being, right? Because, so you get all the memories, all the thoughts, everything. And that's the way you got to do it. Otherwise, you miss stuff and you get an incomplete clone. So yeah, with the bunnies, it's always updating that brain state. So you always have a complete picture of what the brain state is on the mercenary. Because of this, you basically always know what the state is. So it's a lot faster to make the clone, or to program the clones. Anyway, this inbuilt fluid router capability allows bunnies to do a lot more things that the pod pilots can't do. Yeah, sorry. Having a hard time thinking and trying to fight people at the same time. And trust me, this stuff does require quite a bit of thinking. But yeah. So, fluid routers, again, make an elegant solution to quite a few problems, both lore-wise and gameplay-wise. Right? Gameplay-wise, how do you explain, people being able to talk instantly no matter where they are? Private messages, public messages, chat, all the chat rooms and everything that we have in the games. You gotta make it so that everybody can talk to each other. Oh, that was fun. So yeah. And of course you've got to work it out so that, they can talk to each other because, that's important. Community is very important in this kind of game. But also so that in the lore it works that they're talking to each other. Now, CCP, of course, came up with most of this lore back in 2002, 2003. And it's only recently that the tests to prove this information have been coming in. And, it's basically been proven CCP right in what they've been thinking. Alright, well that's it for today. I hope you learned some stuff about fluid routers, despite the fact that I rambled quite a bit. Hope you guys liked the video. Have a great day. Hope you guys also enjoyed watching me die a lot. 2 for 11. Let's see where I did on the boards. Top 8. So the top half of my team. Alright. Thanks for watching. Bye.